Obviously it's an empty box. If the slider was still in the box, I wouldn't have been able to use it on every shot so far. This whole unboxing is getting a bit chicken and egg. Let's start again. Ta-da! This is the Zeapon Micro 2 Plus, which is basically an updated micro slider with the motor included. And full disclosure, I haven't bought this slider with my own money, but it's not a sponsored video. Zeapon have no input, nobody gets to see it before you do, and I can say whatever I like. So I will. And the first thing I should say is that over the years, I've collected quite a few different ways of sliding my cameras around. I was even the UK distributor for Microdolly Hollywood tracking systems. I bought a few glide tracks when they first appeared. I swear they were made from rusty shower door parts. And I'm still a fan of the Red Rock one-man crew director. If you can stay exactly 6 feet away from your subject and don't have any friends. But all of these solutions have one thing in common. The amount you can use them is directly proportional to the hassle and the time it takes to cart them around and set them up. It's amazing how short a director's attention span is when you're trying to set something up on your own. And this is where the Zeapon Micro 2 Plus might offer a definite advantage. It's tiny, small enough to go in my camera bag at just 43 centimeters long, including the motor. And when you start to use it, you realize you get a much longer tracking distance than you'd think. It reminds me of Wallace and Gromit's train track. No? Just me then. You can place it on any flat surface with its adjustable feet, great for low shots, or mount it on a tripod for more flexibility. I think the key to this slider's flexibility is actually the power of the motor. It'll lift 4.5 kilograms at any angle, so you can mount this to a tripod and use it like a crane. It'll even go completely vertical, so you can do those sort of up and down camera moves where you don't change your subject distance between the camera and your subject, and that's a move that even most cranes find difficult to do. I must admit, since I've been testing the Micro 2 Plus, it's pretty much been permanently rigged on my B camera tripod, so it's always ready to go for any shot. And it'll go all day on one of my NP 970 batteries. They're chunky, but it makes it quick and easy to set up. It's also easy to control if you're happy to control it just using the buttons on the motor. Set your start position, double press the power key to memorize it, set the end position and memorize again, set the speed, and off you go. At this point, we should talk about tracking distances, because I have a little problem with the way Zeapon advertise a travel distance of 54 centimeters. You might think that that's the distance you can track, but not quite. That measurement includes the motor and the whole of the carriage. You're better off thinking of it as the amount of space you need. The track on its own is just 29 centimeters long, but because of the way the Micro 2 Plus moves, I think we need to measure from the center of the camera mounting screw at each end of its total travel. Measured this way, I get the distance you can actually track the camera to be 39 centimeters. For lots of reasons, this isn't the double distance you might see advertised. But am I moaning? No. 39 centimeters is still surprisingly useful, and it's amazing how little distance you need to make your shots feel more immersive and even look a bit more 3D. Even the hint of a tiny bit of movement makes most shots look better. I suppose when you think about it, that distance between your eyes is all you need for your brain to see 3D. Maybe that's the only distance we need. None of those shots move very far, but you don't need to move very far to enhance almost any shot. Now, I realise that you can overuse a slider, but when the moves are almost subliminal and things are so easy and quick to set up, then it's very tempting to make more use of camera movement. You might also have noticed there's a couple of shots I used which would be almost impossible to achieve with a conventional slider. Basically, anytime you're tracking towards or away from your subject on a very wide lens, then the track would normally get into the bottom of your shot. Because this track physically moves with the camera, we don't have that problem. Now, I'm not a fan of just how many bits of camera kit I now need to control with my phone. It's way too many. But the Micro 2 Plus is one of the better ones. It finds and connects to your phone really easily. There's no silly passwords or stuff like that. And the app works really well. You can memorize up to 6 positions as waypoints, have greater control over your speed, program loops, and even sync your camera for time-lapse and stop motion. It also looks like Zeapon are launching a programmable head soon. I'm very interested to see that because it'll open up even more possibilities. Now, I know that showing you pretty slow-moving shots all taken with a very wide lens is not that difficult for any slider, and it doesn't convey how smooth and well-made the Micro 2 Plus is. So how about we use the 70 to 200mm lens with some macro tubes, make it a bit more difficult for, say, product shots? That would be a better test, wouldn't it? Interesting stuff, and I'm really impressed with the Zeapon Micro 2 Plus. To be fair, if I hadn't have been impressed, I probably wouldn't have made this video. I've been trying to think of things to moan about with this slider. Apart from the slightly shorter advertised tracking distance, all I can come up with is the weight. It's a chunky piece of kit at 1.8 kilograms. And by the time I've added my heavy 970 battery and a basic ball head, we're well over 2 kilograms. But then it's beautifully made, super smooth, can carry 4.5 kilograms vertically, and I'm using it on all my A7S III shoots. I'm also interested to see what Zeapon do with the remote head. If it's as easy to set up and control as the rest of the slider, that'll be a killer combination. The Zeapon Micro 2 Plus has earned its position as a permanent part of my kit. And being the minimalist that I'd like to be, that's good going. Thanks for watching.